In this video, we are going to talk about what is configuration management and how that differs from change management. These are important concepts that you do want to know for your upcoming PMP or CAPM exams. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for a free course at www.examspm.com/go. And this course will teach you how you can obtain your PMP or CAPM certifications within the next 6 weeks. Really, really great program. Make sure you check it out for free. Now, as we begin our discussion on what is configuration management, let's first talk about what is a configuration. A configuration is an identifiable and documented physical characteristic of a product. So let's say we were building a car, a configuration of the car is that it has 4 wheels underneath. And so now that we know what a configuration is, let's talk about what is configuration management. And the best way to understand this is with an illustration. So let's say that our project was to build a ship, and in 2 years after the ship was completed, it broke down. The engine failed. So instead of building a brand new ship, which will take a really long time and it will be really costly, you purchase the replacement part of the engine and you want to assemble that into the machine. And this is where configuration comes in. Configuration management tracks the different versions of the design and technical specifications that allows you to fit the different replacement parts nicely into the machine. So it's telling you what kind of engine do you need, how do you take the existing engine out and fit in the new one, and how this new engine will then be compatible with the rest of the ship. Because if you just bring a new engine and you don't know how to fit it in, it may mean that the entire ship would not work. And so this is why you need configuration management processes. So let's take a look at what is involved in the different elements of the configuration management plan. So an important part of configuration management is that you need version control. This is the ability to check the work into a common repository, retrieve it at any time. So this allows you to see the changes that's done by anyone, and it also allows you to maintain a full version history. You also want your baseline and release informations in here as well. You want to see what was the latest version release, what did it contain, and have a baseline version that you can deploy at any time. So if you're trying to deploy a new version and it didn't work out, you always have a backup plan that you can deploy so that you don't have a lot of downtime. You also want audits and review in your configuration management plan as well. The audit of a process will allow you to see that everyone on the team has been following the configuration management processes that you have set out, and they have been following the version systems correctly as well. So everyone is tracking the versions correctly and documenting what needs to be documented in regards to configuration management. And that brings us to point number 4, is that you do have to make sure you have documented processes for configuration management. So basically, these are agreed upon processes by the whole team on how you will document configuration management so that anyone can come onto the team, look at the documentations, and know what is going on. And lastly, you want to define how you will build, integrate, and deploy scripts. So these are common standard scripts that automate the work of building, testing, integrating, deploying, and removing manual errors from the process. So having these standard processes and implementation is really key here. Now let's talk about what is the difference between configuration management and change management. As what we have already seen, configuration management focuses on the version control system of the product. In other words, the configuration management plan will tell you which parts are configurable so you can take out and replace with a new part, and it will also tell you how that configuration can be performed. Now, on the other hand, change management focuses on how do you identify, document, and monitor changes on your project. In other words, let's say that our project was falling behind schedule. Then we would submit a change request to the change control board and ask them to approve it for us to either add in more resources or maybe start doing some tasks in parallel in order to speed up the project so that we can still end up completing the project on time. So change management is all about comparing the plan that you have set out to what's actually happening on the project. And if there is a gap, then you make some changes to bring the project back into alignment with your baselines. So the change management plan tells you how those changes will be monitored and controlled. What is your process on managing those changes? So how do you submit those changes? Who will approve these changes? And who will make sure that these changes are actually being made on your project? So that is the difference between configuration management and change management. Again, if you like this video and you want to learn more about project management, be sure to check out our free course at www.examspm.com/free.